Right now, I'm going to show you how to hang a mirror like this with 2 hooks, and I'm not going to be using a string or a rope or anything. I am going to put screws directly into the wall, and then I will put these hooks directly onto the screws and anchor it and mount it on the wall just like that. So first of all, for this project, I'll kind of show you what I've got here. I've got this mirror, this circular mirror that my wife, I like it too, but it's my wife really picked this one out. I do have a stud finder because I always like to look for anything in the wall. I'm also going to be looking for electrical with that. I've got some wall anchors here. These are self-propelled, so I can just use my drill or my impact driver, but I don't have to use a drill. I don't have to pre-drill any holes. These are self-driving, and these wall anchors can hold a lot of weight. I've got a measuring tape here, and then I have a level. I'm also going to be using a laser level, but I want to show you both ways depending on the equipment that you have. Either way, you're going to need a level. Well, if you want your project to be straight at the end, you are going to need a level. Otherwise, you can just go for it. And then finally, I have a dry erase marker. I'll show you a little trick with that. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the wall here to see where the studs are and if there's any electrical. I do have a complete tutorial on how to use this stud finder. So if you want to know more about those, you can check that. I will link that in the description of this video. But basically, I'm just going through here and I am checking to see if there's any electrical. There shouldn't be any electrical. This is an exterior wall, meaning that there's no other rooms or anything behind it. So typically there is not any electrical or piping in that situation, but the key word there is typical or typically. Also, I'm gonna be checking for the studs. I don't necessarily want to use a stud, but I wanna know where they are so that I don't drive into one, or at least a portion of it, on accident. So there's gonna be one right here, and then there'll probably be one a little bit further over here. And those are plenty out of the way here. So just kind of preliminary looking at where I want it to be. I probably want it to be around here with my screw hole. So I've got a stud here, so I'm not going to run into any studs. So that's really the first thing that I am going to do here is I am going to just kind of with my fingers here, kind of hold it up, put my fingers in place where the hooks are, and just see about where I want it to hang. So right there is a good spot where I want it to hang. So for this, I am going to be using my laser level. So this is a Moto Vera. It is a self-leveling laser level. I'm in the bathroom here and it's a floating floor. So it's got the laminate floor. So if I bounce too much, it shakes it. So I do want to be careful and aware of that. So when I'm making my marks, I don't want to bounce too much. But I've already adjusted it to the height that I want it, right where I think that it's going to look good. So again, I just want to double check here with my laser level that it's going to be about where I want it. So that is a good position for it. What I'm going to do to measure the distance here is I'm just going to use my tape measure here. And this is going to help me be really accurate on where my screws end up in the wall. So I'm just putting the end of the measuring tape here right at the top of the hook here, and then I'm going to come over to this side. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take my dry erase marker and I'm just going to make a mark right here on my actual measuring tape exactly where I want it to be. Now all I'm going to do is put this up against the wall here, and then I'm going to make my 2 points here directly onto the wall where I'm going to be putting my screws. I made my mark right here on my measuring tape, and that's just going to simplify it for me so that I can just come up here really quickly and easily make my marks here. So all I'm going to do is follow the line here, find the points where I want to put it, and then I'm just going to make my marks here. So I'm just going to come right down here onto the actual laser line, the light that is showing here, and make my 2 points there. Now, if you do not have a laser level, you could just use a standard level here. Now, I would do kind of the same thing. I would actually kind of cheat here, and I would just put this on here, and then I would put my marks directly onto my actual level here. And then from there, I would just hold the level up onto the wall itself, and then with the marks that I made on the actual level, I would just transfer those over, boop, boop, to the wall that way, and that would ensure that you're gonna end up with a level product at the finish. So now the next thing to do is to actually just take our fasteners here, our wall anchors, and we can go ahead and put those directly into the wall on the 2 spots that we already marked out. These wall anchors are pretty serious here, and they can hold a significant amount of weight. They say they can hold up to 100 pounds. So this is probably a little bit overkill for this mirror, but I don't want any issues down the road. And honestly, it went from like 25 pounds to 100 pounds. So this mirror itself probably weighs about 20 pounds. So I just wanted something that I know is going to be secure. I'm just using my impact driver. You could use your drill. You could just use your screwdriver if that's all you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up here, mark it up with the first one here, and I'm going to drill it right in. Now from here, I'm just going to put the screws in. And so now to put it on, I'm just gonna get both hooks here, kind of push them out with my finger, and then I'll line it up here. Start with whichever side you want, kind of get one hook on, and then you let the other swing down, and it'll kind of just catch, and then it'll rock right into place. Perfect, there you go. The mirror is up. My wife is gonna be thrilled. I'm thrilled. That has been on my list for a while. So really easy project, in my opinion. Took about 15 minutes. A couple things in this video. The stud finder, I have a video on how to use that. The laser level, I have a video on how to use that. And if you are drilling and you actually hit something, in the last house, our townhome, I hung a mirror very similar to this, and I actually hit the drain pipe for our washer that was on the upper level. I knew it because when I came out with the drill, there was plastic wrapped around the drill. I was scared that I actually hit electrical, so I was thrilled when it was only a drain pipe, but I did have to repair it. So I cut a hole in the drywall, and then I do have a video on how to repair a drain pipe with a product called Water Weld. It's this epoxy putty. It dries really quickly, and it's a really easy patch if you're just patching a pipe. So hopefully that was helpful. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you like DIY around the house. Again, my name is Drew. I'll see you in the next one.